Hello and welcome. I'm Jessie Ray and this is Chiron's Key Tarot. So grateful to have you here today with me for this reading. This is going to be a collective reading for the new moon in Scorpio on Monday, November 13th. And I'm going to read the Sabian symbol just to kind of give a little overall of the energy, and then we are going to pull the tarot cards and dive a little bit deeper. So the Sabian symbol is a soldier derelict in duty. The keyword is deviation. Termination is cooperation. This symbol speaks to living with the consequences of decisions and, in particular, to the consequences of impulsiveness or the failure to think things through thoroughly before acting. The image of a soldier derelict in his duty is one of the reversed or negative symbols, and it dramatizes the dilemma faced by the individual who makes a commitment in the hope of achieving some personal goal and discovers too late that he has made a mistake. Instead of fulfilling his dream, he is living in a nightmare or compromising his own integrity. The implication here is that man basically moves towards his highest good and will not continue for long in any direction that frustrates him or fails to bring him happiness. And the positive and at the highest, this symbol represents the ability to find cooperative means for resolving problems and a willingness to accept responsibility for mistakes. And the negative is irresponsibility and selfishness. So the accent is on the negligence. You may find yourself dealing with the repercussions of someone failing to do what they promised to do. And the opportunity is your greatest advantage lies in resigning responsibility from any situation or position that holds no promise or potential for you. Tie up loose ends before you leave. And guard against letting yourself get carried away by emotions or desires in the middle of an important job, and the consequences could be greater than you are prepared to face. So for me personally, how I'm resonating with this new moon is really feeling like whatever area in your chart this new moon is hitting is really kind of a chance for us to set intentions around what we need to get rid of, what is no longer serving us in that area, what we need to purge. Scorpio is all about kind of purging, cleansing, transmuting, transformation. So I feel like this is a good opportunity to kind of clear house and clear away and set intentions for releasing things that are no longer serving you. So if you know your natal chart, that will really help. And I would also watch a astrology forecast to kind of get a little bit more in-depth reading in which area of this life or area of your life that this new moon is going to be making an aspect. Okay, and these cards too. Okay. And I'm also excited because this is my first read I'm getting to do with my new camera set up. So I've got a camera now on the cards. So I'm getting used to this new setup. So let me lay these out for you. And I think I want one more. One more. Okay, judgment. So we have the Three of Pentacles and the Three of Cups here. And we've got the Two of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. We've got the Five of Cups and the Seven of Swords. And we also have the Six of Swords along with the Judgment card. And right away, this is kind of really talking about emotions to me right now. I feel this is going to be kind of an emotional roller coaster of a new moon. Makes sense. Scorpio is a water sign. And there's something about needing to really go within. Go to those places that are in the shadow. Go to those places that we need to spend a little bit more time getting to know. So, Three of Pentacles. Kind of working, the card can talk about community, who you're working with, who you're trying to grow things with, who you've been currently working with, and maybe that needs to change a little bit. It could be relationships in your personal life, it could be relationships at work, but there's something about a little bit of a community feeling that's coming through for me with this card. And some of us, I feel like, are going to be really looking at our emotions around our community and the community that we have been building and working with. And I feel like there's going to be a sense of change with that. I feel like things are really changing. We've been going through a lot of changes, even just over the last few months. And now I feel like there's a deeper aspect, a deeper layer in which we need to do some self-discovery and look at what our needs are. Where are we feeling disappointed? Where are we feeling let down, either by our own actions that we failed to take or the actions of others? And what are we being asked to do? What are we being asked to change? What are we being asked to let go of and rework? This has really been hitting me really strongly lately. And with this Ace of Cups, I feel like there's this rebirth process, emotionally speaking, around this new moon, clearing out maybe old emotional ways that we used to even connect with ourselves or connect with other people, thought patterns, feelings, having old ways of emotionally connecting with ourselves and others being purged and released, and a real sense of a newness coming in. Really the Ace of Cups, really talking about we've got this opportunity to really kind of reset ourselves emotionally. Where do we want to see ourselves? How do we want to start connecting with people and with our own self, right? In a more positive way, or a more self-affirming way. And this Two of Pentacles kind of juggling that newness, right? This is how I have been doing stuff, and this is how I want to try to change this. This is how I want to try to bring in this new magic, this new releasing, and then bringing in the new. And the new, when we start to do new things and have new patterns in our life, we can feel really uncomfortable, right? It can feel weird. It feels foreign. We don't quite understand maybe if we are doing it quote unquote correctly, right? There's a sense of really learning something new in regards to our emotions and how we are relating to ourselves and others. And this Seven of Swords is really feeling to me like really having to stand our ground with what our needs are, and where have we been disappointed and let down by ourselves or with others. And this Five of Cups can really talk about some really big challenges emotionally, feeling really disappointed, feeling really hurt, feeling really, maybe stabbed in the back by somebody, or really giving your all to a situation, and the people or whatever is involved in that situation, however it's resonating for you, not appreciating you for how you are and how you're showing up, and the work and the dedication and the emotion that you've been putting in. So there's something about, if it's not working, if it's leaving you feeling really desolate, if it's leaving you feeling really energetically drained, emotionally spinning around in circles, there's that area that I feel like this new moon in Scorpio is asking us to really look at and purge and cleanse and get rid of things that are bringing such deep disappointment and deep sorrow. Sitting with ourselves and holding space for ourselves when those really big, strong emotions come up, because those emotions are really trying to be your friend and tell you, this isn't working for me. And I feel like with this Seven of Swords, it's like it's time for me to set my boundaries. It's time for me to take note mentally of what I need moving forward, and setting that intention and saying, okay, I'm going to release whatever needs to be released, and be willing to work with the energies of this new moon in Scorpio. Six of Swords talks about kind of getting to calmer waters. I feel once this new moon passes, you typically kind of feel this energy for the next few days after this new moon, and anything that comes up around the time of this new moon is really just showing you areas of your life that may not be working, or how you are perceiving things, or emotionally connecting with yourself. Maybe you might be holding yourself back in some ways. Maybe some of the habits that you've had can be even almost like a self-disappointing, like you're disappointing yourself because you aren't strong enough to show up for yourself in the way that I feel like we've been really encouraged to as of recently, just with all of the other aspects and other astrology weather kind of going on. I personally just really experienced something like this, and I feel like this new moon is really having me reflect on the things that weren't working, the areas of my life that I was working really hard in, and they were not giving back to me what I was giving to it. So I had to leave that situation. And there's just a sense of really kind of sitting with ourselves during this time, holding space, reflecting, and realizing that there's some chapters kind of coming to a close. And what that means is that we've got some new beginnings, right? We've got newness on the way. We've got a new way of doing things. This Ace of Cups gives me a lot of hope that there is going to be a renewal. We're going to feel like we're in the trenches, and then when we release that and hold space for ourselves and move through that, that's when I feel like we're going to start to unlock that magic and really start to feel this divine intervention coming in, and the universe really working with us to be like, okay, now here's the new, now start to implement it, now it's time to start taking the action. And this judgment card of really kind of almost standing in judgment, right, of what is no longer working, what can work, what are we open to, what are we open to changing. And I really feel like even though there are some spicy aspects with this new moon, with Uranus and with Mars, that it's really giving us an action-packed energy behind this too, to really go to those spaces that we really need to take a look at. And I also want to pull a little affirmation card too. But there's just something that I feel like is really spicy about this new moon, but also giving us a chance to really bring in some new, right? Like really, like after you've had like a really, really, really good cry, like you sat there for 2 hours and had a really good ugly cry, and then you feel so much better when you hold space for those emotions and then let them go. I'm really feeling that vibe with this new moon coming up. So let me know down in the comments below how it has been showing, how things have been showing up for you recently. And then also when this new moon happens, how it's, if you feel comfortable sharing, how it's been playing a part in y'all. And the affirmation card that came out is I am loved. So I really feel like the universe is saying, even though this is going to be spicy, even though this might be a little treacherous, even though it might not feel the best, you are still loved. This is, supposed to is a silly word, but I feel like there's a lot of love and goodness that can come from this if we get into those spaces that we're kind of uncomfortable going into. So I'm wishing you guys all the best for this new moon in Scorpio, and I will see you guys next weekend for the 12 zodiac sign reads. Take care.